Good morning. My name is Daniel Nyiri. I'm your instructor in Scenario 18. Welcome. I'm going to be chatting with you periodically over the next 8 weeks, and on an individual one-on-one level. When you need to talk to me, we can meet on Zoom, or we can communicate via email, or ideally through Canvas. You can send me a message through the inbox. And I will be reading your essays every week and your quizzes and participating in the class discussions. Everything's laid out on Canvas. It's about to be available to you. I'm slightly concerned because it is twice as much work as the class usually would be, because we're doing it in 8 weeks instead of 16 weeks. And I need all of you to be very comfortable letting me know if you're overwhelmed. It's very important that everybody is progressing at roughly the same level, and that you're comfortable doing so individually. And to that end, the work is only available on Canvas 1 week at a time. So until you complete the first week, you can't move forward to the second week, because it involves watching films and reading a lot of notes. And I strongly suggest that you read the welcome page and the syllabus, which is very short, and then click through and read the notes and start watching the films. This week we have 5 movies for you to watch and some shorter videos, and I hope it'll be fairly easy for you to figure it out. The first week is the hardest week. We have 1 very long movie and 4 normal length movies, a couple of quite short films, in fact. Almost all the films have subtitles, closed captions, that's a requirement, as do any videos. And the documents that you read online are available with the Canvas immersive reading software, so that it can actually be read to you. There are some illustrations as well visually, and there are descriptions, verbal descriptions of those illustrations. But just to briefly go through what you'll find in week 1, it is the most demanding week in terms of quantity of reading and getting around the process, and then culminating in a 1,000-word essay, a short quiz, which should take you 10 minutes or less, and then a very short discussion section for the entire class. Those of you who are familiar with Canvas, it's very straightforward. There are essentially only one direction to go, which is forward, but you can always look back at your work, with the exception of the quiz and the essay. Once you've submitted an answer to a question, then you can't go back. It's simpler for everybody that way. So again, my name is Daniel Nyiri, and I'm your instructor, and I want to welcome you to the class. The syllabus is in the navigation on the left-hand side, and you can scroll down. You'll also see the due dates for assignments and so on. Very, very simple. Every week you have an essay, a quiz, and discussion requirement for each of the weeks that you're in the class. The grading system is always the same, and the rules are very straightforward. And if you need to contact me, I've explained how to contact me, and I always respond pretty swiftly, never more than 24 hours, usually much more quickly than that. So the first page you should check is the homepage, where you'll find a picture of the original partners of United Artists, the studio that was founded by Fairbanks and Mary Pickford and Charlie Chaplin. And it says week 1, and you'll see I introduce myself, I explain the things I've just discussed with you. And then as you go down, there are various links. Those of you who are not familiar with Canvas, there are outside links that will take you to the Los Angeles City College website to advise you about Canvas, and other useful links that might help you with issues to do with the college itself, generally, to do with support you might need on campus, or to do with studying remotely. And then we dive into the various links. I strongly suggest you start with the link that says Cinema 18 Welcome. And then you can just click next, and it'll take you to everything, including the 5 feature films that you're watching this week, which should be a lot of fun. But you can always check back to the homepage and you'll see the list of things to do in each week. This week is a very heavy workload. So familiarize yourself with the amount of reading you're meant to be doing and with the movies that you're meant to be watching this week. Some of them you may have seen before. That's part of the beauty of doing a general cinema class. Some of the language will be familiar to you. Some of the articles you may have even read. We do have a recommended textbook, which is an introduction to film genre by Friedman, Dasser, Kozloff, Murchison, and Prince. I use it for reference a lot. It is absolutely not mandatory for you to buy it or own it. There are a couple of other recommended textbooks as well. If you happen to have it, you'll find it useful. You'll find you use the index more than anything. I do not believe it is essential to have a textbook. If you have access to the internet and Google, you can find all the support you need there. I will be supplying you with plenty of references and links to support your work in Cinema 18, Introduction to Cinema Genres. So on that note, as for today, I'm going to leave you to do your reading and to explore this week's work, and to let me know not only if you have problems, but also if you find it helpful and enjoyable. And yes, the first week is the hardest week, and it's intentionally that way so that you can really dive in and get the full immersion in week 1. So in subsequent weeks, you will have more tools to really appreciate the work we are doing. The more you learn at the beginning, the easier it will be to really appreciate the course as you go along. And thank you for your attention. I look forward to getting to know you through your work, and maybe face-to-face over Zoom. And certainly I intend to do everything I can to help you to get the excitement and pleasure out of the study of cinema that I get, and I very much enjoy teaching it, and I look forward to working with you.